If I'm being completely honest, I have never been passionate about the Contacts app on any of my Apple devices. For me, it's just been a dumb list where I can put people in my life that I want to talk to elsewhere. I want their names, their emails, and their phone numbers in there so that I can have them autofill in things like iMessage or email apps or whatever. But I don't really spend time in the app. I never got much value from the app itself. It was really just a directory. So when Flexibits announced Cardhop 2 was coming out and it was going to be a part of the Flexibits subscription, which I was already paying for to get access to Fantastical, I figured, what's the worst that could happen? Let me install the app, let me try it out and see what all the hype is about. I know people said really good things about the first version of the app, but again, I never really used it because I wasn't into contact management. And so now that there was no risk, I decided to jump in. And there's definitely a lot of stuff here that I find exciting, that I find interesting, that I find well implemented, and has gotten me to use the app more regularly. Now, I'm obviously not doing all of my work in it. It's not meant to do that, but it is an app that I constantly have running in the background, in the menu bar actually, on my Mac while I'm working, and it's really, really useful, and I wanted to show you some of the things that I have found useful about it, and one thing that I have my mother, who is absolutely not into computers, but is a feature that she loves and is playing around with, and I want to show you that as well. So let's jump into the screen share. So the first thing I really like about Cardhop is the natural language input. So from anywhere in the app, I've got this search bar where I can basically type in Raymond, right? And I can pull up their contact and it automatically starts showing me their information. That's really nice. I can also invite. So let me put invite to the front of this. And now I can invite Raymond to a meeting, and this will open Fantastical and kick off a meeting. I can also do a whole list of people. So I have a group right here of product managers. Let me get rid of this. I've got me and two other product managers at my company. And so from Cardhop, I can do invite product managers. There we go. And so they come up as search results, but there's also a group match. And so I can hit this, and this will kick me over to Fantastical, where it's going to invite those three people with the information from Cardhop. And then I can just do a sync up meeting today at, we'll do 3 p.m. and it'll be 90 minutes, right? And so that's pretty much how you do a meeting in Fantastical, but I kicked it off with exactly the people I need from Cardhop, and that's really, really nice. Similarly, the ability to add people is super, super simple. So I can just start typing a new name. We'll do ZZZZZ, how about, as a person, then it figures out their name. Let's see, make their last name YYYY, and then we'll make their phone number, right? We'll throw that in there. Oops. That's wrong. There we go. There's their phone number. We can do z@y.com, and that's their email. And so it figures it all out, and that's nice and everything. But if I go into something like this, where I've got like a person's full like signature with like all this stuff, with like their name, address, phone number, email, birthday, and their own website, I can copy this. I'm going to hide that, and I just paste that whole thing into Cardhop, and now I've got a contact here with the name, phone number, email, address, birthday, homepage, all of this auto-filled for me. I think that's really, really cool. And then I can also add a timestamp to my notes. So this is kind of a separate thing, but like if I just met this person and I like want to know, oh, their son's name is Sam, right? I can hit add timestamp, and then son's name is Sam, right? And so now I've got that note, and I automatically added a timestamp to know when I got that from them. So there we go. I'm also going to make them a product manager at the product department at Acme Inc., which is where I work. So that's cool. There we go. And we're going to add the contact. So now I've got another contact in there. And if I want to actually go ahead and let's bring them into product managers, there we go. Now they're in there, and I can of course invite them to meetings, all that good stuff. So I really love the natural language input and the ability to kick off meetings from Cardhop. I also really like the ability to scan business cards, which I know is not unique to Cardhop, but Cardhop does it really well. I just go ahead on the iPhone and go to plus. I scan business card, it brings up the camera, and I can scan the card, and within a second or two, I have all of their information intelligently filled into a contact card, and I can just save it from there. It works really, really well for those cases where I do have someone's card. And finally, I mentioned my mom was using Cardhop for something cool, and the thing that she's excited about are relationships. So in Cardhop, you can set up relationships between people. So for example, I can click on Michael Fish and see, okay, his manager is Rose Santiago, and you can change this to other things. So you can do all sorts of like family relationships or corporate relationships, whatever you want. And then what I can do is I can go into show relationships, and I can see here's my org chart basically for the product department. I have the director of product right here, and then everyone else is reporting up to her. And that's just, it's nice to see for this. And then you can imagine, I'm not going to show you my exact family tree, but you can imagine what this would look like with a family tree with spouses and siblings and kids and grandparents and all that. And it gives you a really cool visualization of all those relationships. And that's kind of this just like fun summer project that my mom is working on is getting all of that into Cardhop so she can get this really nice view of the family tree, and she wants to share that just with the rest of the family. And I think that's really, really cool and something you can't do in the basic contacts app. So those are some of the things that I'm really enjoying about Cardhop that have made me use it much more. I think the ability to kick off meetings with specific groups of people is super, super powerful, and that's what I'm using the most. That's what's making it a thing that I'm running constantly in the background. It's running up into my menu bar, actually, and so I can access it quickly with a keyboard shortcut. Just a really cool thing that's won me over more than I thought a contact app would.